All right, so recently on Twitter, I've seen a lot of people talking about this PnB Rock situation. Now, allegedly, they're saying that PnB Rock is dating a 15-year-old girl and got her pregnant. Now, a lot of people may not know this, but the story isn't new. The first time I came across this story was actually like about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Now, in all of that time, mind you, a year and a half in media is a long time. Just think about it this way. A trending topic lasts about a month. But in this long time, we've gotten no evidence. Like, there's literally no proof of anything. We don't even know if they were really dating. We've seen a picture of them together, but judging by her Instagram page, I've seen a picture of her with numerous other celebrities, so I don't really know what that might even mean. We don't have any real proof of any type of sexual activity or even dating scenario, so I don't know where all these like allegations are coming from. Now, a lot of this is word of mouth, a lot of this is some like, I guess, back room, shade room type shit. But what's unfortunate about this situation, now I'm not passing judgment, clearly all I'm saying is that we really don't know shit, and that's how I like to keep it. Like, if there aren't any facts present, then I'm not gonna just throw my hat in and accuse somebody of something, especially something as serious as rape, because we really got to stop that as a culture. Like, and I don't mean that as a black culture or whatever. I mean like literally as Americans. Like, it seems like something that we really love to do. We rush to judge and we rush to like incriminate somebody. We're quick to say, the person's guilty. And what sucks is that, let's say, hypothetically the person gets acquitted. When we do find them not guilty, that same large group of people carrying the pitchforks and trying to get him the hell out of town, all of a sudden they quiet. But I feel like this raised a couple interesting debates that I saw online, though. Taking out, I guess removing PnB Rock himself from the situation, it reminds me of like another little situation that I feel like a lot of people don't think about. I used to work as security for a few nightclubs back when I was in undergrad up in Tallahassee. Working in nightclubs, you kind of see a different side of people. One of the first things that I started peeping, because Tallahassee's a small town and the way that it is, you forget that there are families living there. Like, you forget that there are people that aren't in college that live there, that there are high school kids that might even be trying to party with you. Because for the most part, all the apartment complexes, all the houses, everything in that whole college-y area is college students. So you forget that there's anybody outside that kind of could be trying to protect themselves. I didn't know until around my junior year. I started working at a nightclub and I was security. So I used to check IDs, and I used to come across fake IDs every once in a while and have to kick people out and this and that. But some of the fake IDs are so good, you don't even know. So what'll happen is now you got people inside that are underage. What happens if a guy, he sees a girl that he likes, he's buying her drinks, she's, talking back, this and that, and he decides to take her home. Now, in his mind, everybody in there is of age. I mean, it's at a bar, and a lot of these bars are 21 and up. It's not even like he thinks she's 18. In his mind, she's more than of age. She's of drinking age, which is important. So he's expecting security to do their jobs. And he's also expecting people to just not lie, I guess. You got to break this down into different components. There's negligence by the owners of the bars, right? Because at the end of the day, it's your job to keep minors out, right? But then again, there's also a certain negligence that I saw a lot of women putting on men when it came to asking your spouse, or not spouse, but asking the person you potentially about to sleep with, what is your age? Now, here's what I find funny about that. I'm pretty sure that a woman who uses a fake ID to get into, child, who uses a fake ID to get into a club is not going to turn around and just start telling the truth when they get inside. I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty sure that's just not how it works. They came to the club, especially a 21 and up club, for a reason. They didn't come in there to not drink. They didn't come in there to not act loose. That's craziness. Clearly, the idea was for them to portray the life of a person who was 21. The concept is to come in there and drink. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to tell you the truth. Now, if you do ask them and they do say that they're 21 and up, what happens then? Because at that point, the guy wasn't making a conscious decision to sleep with an underage girl. Like, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Now, another thing, going back to the PnB Rock situation, I looked through his girl's pictures, and a lot of people were arguing over whether, she doesn't look 15, dog. And then you got the next person who's like, man, look at her face, look at her cheeks, bro. She look 15. She look like a kid, man. Look, hey, y'all have fun arguing left and right. I'm not arguing over nobody's age or what they look like. That's not my job anymore. And I'm glad that I don't work at the doors, because people don't look their age. There's a lot of people out there who may look older, who may look younger. That's not your job. All you can do is ask. Even check ID for the most part. Even like if you ask, oh, let me see ID, and then they pull out their ID, it could be a fake. Like there's no way you can know. People are gonna lie. And people who lie to get into a club, I'm pretty sure are gonna lie about their age, because the whole lie of getting into the club was about their age in the first place. They don't want to get kicked out. So I don't see the logic in that. Honestly, just being real, I don't see the logic in that. All right, so right about this time is usually when I ask the most important question, which is, who the hell's fault is this? Now, this is a complicated situation since we don't have any facts. We got to go with, I guess, all the possibilities. If he does know that this is a 15-year-old girl, this guy's literally a complete pervert, you know, lock him up right up there with R. Kelly, he got to go. Like, I have no tolerance for those types of people, pedophiles, people who believe that the earth is flat, aka flat earth niggas, mimes, all y'all got to go. I have no patience for it. But if he doesn't know, then I honestly believe it's the girl's fault, man. Like, I can't fault the guy for what he doesn't know. That, to me, that's kind of crazy. Like, that's kind of crazy for me to look at a dude in the face and say, yeah, I understand you had no idea and you were lied to the entire night. And it's crazy that, think about it this way. In order for the girl to get to him, right, think of how many lies she had to tell. She had to first purchase a fake ID, right? Use the fake ID to get into the venue. In order to get into the venue, you got to get past the line where you get the wristband first. Everybody been to a club. You got to get past the bouncer, because you got to think you get that wristband first while you're in the line. That's the first bouncer. Then you pay at the door. When you pay at the door, 9 times out of 10, they check the wristband the second time. And I'm pretty sure she didn't go all the way into that club to not drink and not turn up. So she got past the bartender. She done got past everybody. Everybody who's in there. All those people on her Instagram, all these other celebrities that she done took pictures with and kicked it with or whatever. Whatever age she been telling them, clearly that's what the hell all these people been believing. But you got to go to jail because you the nigga that she ended up wanting to sleep with. That's fucked up. She literally chose you to destroy. That's crazy. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking, because I've seen this on my timeline. First, just women saying, oh my God, I can't believe you would actually take a woman home without even asking her age. Oh, I can't believe you men are pigs. And then you got the other ones, my favorites, who are like, I would never. I don't know any women who would ever. Men are disgusting. Men are pigs. Hey, man, and me being honest, and this is definitely a shout out to all the women I've seen on the internet talking that talk. I just got one thing to say to you, man. Shut the fuck up. Like, these guys are not going home to jack off. Like, these guys are not going home solo. They're not going home like with a fucking blow up doll. This is a woman agreeing to go home with them. So all y'all passing these judgments about, oh, I can't believe you go home and have one night stands with people and don't know their age and this and that. Men are this, men are trash, men are pigs. Y'all do understand that there are women making this decision along with them, right? That's what fucking gets to me. The original feminist movement was about women getting recognition. Women being seen as more than just objects. Women being seen as people who can make decisions for their goddamn selves. But in 2017, it seems like y'all don't know what the fuck you want. These women are making the decision to leave with these guys. So if the guys are taking the L, I'm sorry, it's women taking the L with them. So it's not a sex thing. This is not a gender thing. This is a people thing. There are people out there doing this. These dudes ain't coming up to them, clubbing them over the head like the Stone Ages and dragging them the fuck home. Like, this is a conscious decision by two people. So for you to be out here saying men are pigs for this, men do this, I can't believe you men. If she wanted to volunteer up that information, they would have that conversation. But clearly neither one of them is on that. So you know what you can do? You can shut the fuck up. I cannot judge this guy for not asking her age and assuming that in a 21 and up environment that she's 21 and up, because, and simply because, in my time back when I was clubbing and partying and shit like that, I don't remember ever actually having to ask that before. Like, I've asked it for certain people. Maybe it was somebody who may have looked a little bit older or looked a little bit younger, like somebody who looked like they didn't fit in. So I might have the inkling to ask that question. But on the average, especially when I was in undergrad, I was in Tallahassee, so that's a college town. You don't expect to see anybody who's not of college age. So they just don't come up. I can't blame anybody who's in an environment where it's supposed to be sifted out. It's supposed to be nothing but people who are of a certain age. And you see a girl, she's bad, whatever, you just got off stage, she done came backstage, all that good shit. One thing lead to another, you took her home. I'm not going to condemn you for doing something that I've done, because I feel like that would be me being a hypocrite. Now, what I can say is, for all the younger dudes who are listening in right now and all the young niggas that I do know, y'all don't live in an era where you could do that anymore. Like, that ship has sailed. I'm sorry. There's a lot of things that used to happen before that you might have been able to do that you just cannot do now. And this is one of them. You have to ask everybody their age. You got to videotape consent. You got to, like, it's a jungle out there. You got to walk around with contracts. Ain't no, the best way to live, honestly, stay out the game, bro. Either that or walk around with contracts. I really don't know what to tell you, because nothing's safe. And it scares me that people could look at a situation with someone this blatantly deceitful, who can deceive a room full of people. Like, we can name 5 to 6 people that they deceived before they even got to you. They deceive you. You fell for it just like everybody else, but you're wrong. You're the pervert, and you got to go to jail because you are a male. It's fucked up. It's a crazy society we live in. Now, with that being said, though, let's break this down even further, because there's more people at fault. Like I said, it's every damn body. So next would be the club. I'm not going to stay on that one too long because I got, a lot to hit in a small video. But clubs got to do better, man. Like, I used to work at the door for multiple clubs, and there's different types of clubs out there. There are those that actually do not want underage girls drinking on their premises, and they really are strict about that. And then there are the other ones who maybe, they're having money issues, or maybe they have other issues going on with them where they don't really care that much. They don't have that strict of a policy because they're trying to get money from whoever the hell they can get money from, which is a dangerous culture to support. And there are clubs out there that are doing it. And anybody who knows of those clubs, man, I ain't telling you to snitch, but goddamn it, let's say if you do work for them, tighten up, man, because you're putting people's lives at risk. You're putting people's livelihoods at risk. Now, I'm not telling y'all to go out and snitch or anything. I'm not telling y'all to be some wild neighborhood watch George Zimmerman ass nigga. What I'm telling you is, tell these young motherfuckers to go home. Go the fuck home. Stop putting people's lives at risk because you want to turn up too early. Go read a book. Go to college. That's where you can do this shit. Go to fucking college. Now, the next part, speaking of go home, nobody's talking about this chick's parents. Where the fuck are your parents where you can be at a club every Friday and Saturday? Like, the way that people are talking about, this girl is on the scene. Now, I personally I don't know anything about her. All I can judge off of is what I see on the timeline, where there's pictures all over the place. It seemed like she got a pretty damn active life for somebody who is quote unquote not even 16. So she not even old enough to get a goddamn driver's license. But she at the club 2, 3 a.m. What? Like, who the fuck are these parents? And then you got people who are, this is where it gets touchy. Because when you start talking about the parents and you start talking about her being out late and stuff like that, this is where people like to argue against me, and they're like,
but Reggie, she has the right to.
First of all, she doesn't, because you're fucking 15. You're underage, so you don't have the right to do shit. You have the right to stay the fuck home. And if you don't have good parents, then that's just a unfortunate situation. But for the love of God, man, like, I don't know what kind of household where you can get away with doing some shit like that week after week and not get caught. Another thing is you bring up social media, because how do we know about her being at the club? It's all these pictures on social media. So you telling me that the world knows, and she got a public profile. It's not blocked. It's not hidden. She got a public profile that her parents don't know anything about. Your parents don't know shit. How do you get away with that? How do you get away with consistently sneaking out? How do you get away with consistently being on the scene and out where thousands of people know who you are and know what you're doing? Your face is all over Twitter. Your face is literally viral all over the internet, and your parents haven't said shit or done nothing? Who the fuck are these parents? Like, how? Your neighbors ain't said shit to them? They ain't got no friends? You ain't got a cousin that done came across your head yet? Like, that, all that starts to make me question whether this thing is true or not. Because that's when I start thinking, okay, there's no way that this girl could be 15. But then again, there are some parents that live like that. Now, here's where it gets more touchy. You got people arguing whether, you know, her clothing is age appropriate. That's when people get into, you can't tell women what to wear. You can't judge a woman by her clothing. You know, the feminist 2017 shit where somehow the feminist movement only has to do with like over sexuality and whole shit. I ain't got time for that. Like, I'm not here to argue whether her clothes look like she's 15, 16, 17. I'm not here to tell y'all, oh, well, since she wore this type of shoes and this type of shirt, you should have known that she was young. I'm not doing none of them type of judgments because I don't know. Like, as a regular dude, I can't look at somebody off rip. I'm gonna just be honest. I can't look at somebody off rip and just know their age, which is why I don't just fuck around. I just don't. Like, you can't say, oh, you lying or you this. No, I'm just not. Like, I'm being honest with you. I know I couldn't just look at somebody and just judge off rip and just know, which is why I just don't get in them types of situations. I stay out of the fucking way. And for those who want to live a simple life like me, dog, stay the fuck out the club. Get a girlfriend and quit. Just quit. The game is over, bro. Quit. It's too much going on out there. There's no way to win. The funny thing about this whole situation is that it kind of takes me back. Damn, these niggas gonna be mad that I told this story. But a few years ago, around the time that I was working for that nightclub or whatever that shall not be named, it was a tough semester that year. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember we were like hella stressed out, right? So we decide, you know, everybody gets dressed. We about to hit the club. We're gonna go out, see, you know. See what damage we could get into, what kind of trouble we could get into out there. We go out, we hit the club. It wasn't really popping the way we wanted it to be, so we hit a few bars afterwards. My roommate Kyle ends up vibing up real well with this girl, right? Nice little blonde piece. She's about I would say 5'2". She looked like every other girl that Kyle messed with, to be honest. So Kyle, you know, heads back to the crib with her, and me and the boys, we head back in the whip that we came in, and we're in the living room kind of kicking it, playing video games and all that. All right, so while we were in the living room playing Mortal Kombat vs. DC, Kyle was in the back room getting his left down circle square on with the girl. When they were done, they came out, sat in the living room for a little bit. She stayed for a few minutes, but then she bounced. When she left, I mean, of course, this dude's like, we look over at Kyle for confirmation. Then he gave us the nod. And as all guys listening to this podcast know exactly what the nod means, you know, we all started laughing and smiling and we gave the boy his props. And all y'all niggas out there acting like you never did that, don't fucking lie. Like, don't lie just because you're in front of your girl. Niggas, like, we're supportive of each other. Unlike women who like to lie to their friends and act like they didn't hit when they've been greasing like every nigga they met. We support each other. We're able to tell each other the truth. Now, here's the funny part. A few days later, we have one female roommate in the house. Her cousin comes over to the crib. You know, he is sitting down in the living room watching TV with us, everybody kind of hanging out. And he asks us, because he saw us at the bar the other night. And he's like, yo, how do y'all know that girl? And then we all look at Kyle. And Kyle, you know, does the universal nod that every guy in the room understood. And he was like, oh. Now, instead of congratulating Kyle, Buddy's face all of a sudden looked a little upset. And we're like, uh-oh. So we're thinking this might be his girlfriend, his ex, or some type of weird situation. So we're sitting there thinking something's about to pop off. But in reality, this dude looks at Kyle and he's like, I hate to say this, but she's 15. What's wrong with y'all? So we start laughing as the dickhead roommates we are. We start laughing thinking he's joking, right? And then when his face stayed serious, everybody froze. Of course, that didn't stop me. Now, I proceed to slander the hell out of Kyle, you know, making all the R. Kelly jokes that I can as quickly as they come out. But Kyle, he wasn't too happy with this news. So he starts asking more questions. He's like, how the hell do you know? Dude starts breaking it down. He's like, well, I grew up around her, and yeah, she's definitely 15, dog. Like, she's way younger than me. And we're like, damn it. How did she get in? He was like, oh, she's had a fake ID for years. She's always been clubbing, always been partying. I'm like, even back then, I asked the same question. Where the hell are her parents? How is this even possible? Because mind you, we went out on a freaking, like, it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It wasn't even like a weekend. The dude was like, well, her parents don't give a shit. They just let her run around, do whatever she wants or whatever. Kyle looked distraught. He looked dismayed. The dude was shook up about this for like a long time. Like, he was real hurt. Now, funny enough, later on we see her at the club again. This is like about a month later. Everybody's at the same bar that we went to, kicking it. We look over and we see her finessing another dude. I go to the door guy and I'm like, yo, do y'all understand that this girl is underage? And this door guy looks at me plain in the face and is like, she spends money at the bar. That's all I know. So the moral of this story is everybody need to tighten up, man. Like, you know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? It takes a world to fuck up one too. And it seems like the world is all in working together to make sure a lot of these kids is fucked up, from the parents to the bars. Like, not everything's about money, man. Like, you gotta, where's your soul at? Like, we all gotta do better, man. Everybody. Take responsibility for what you can do. Man, but that's about it on this one. I go by the name of ReggieDaes. Follow me on Twitter at ReggieDaes, or on Instagram, same name, at ReggieDaes. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm definitely trying to hear what everybody thinks right about this time. You already know. Later days.